From our side, we'd like to see that taken a little bit further, going from what I would almost kind of feel from being ESG friendly to ESG compliant. But at the moment, globally, I think generally the trend is still ESG friendly. South Africa, we're still a little bit behind the curve. I think if we look at those three attributes, the governance we are very good at. I think since the introduction of King 3, we've seen good compliance and good practice at the governance level. When it comes to social spending and environmental spending, I think still maybe good on social, but not so great on environmental spending yet. I think globally that's probably the norm as well. And we're seeing enormous amount of pressure being put on boards to behave appropriately. And we'll see that also coming up in Davos later this month. The second big priority at the moment is definitely the issue around IT risks. There are two kind of issues coming out there with this emerging and sort of modern technologies that are evolving. This idea of storing information in the cloud, your own staff having access to technology. All of this is creating an enormous amount of risks, and coupled with that is that cybersecurity is at an all-time high. So coming out of that survey, the majority of the board felt that they were unable to deal with, or don't have any insurance, number one, and secondly, weren't sure what the response plan would be in the event of a breach. And then the third one, which I thought was very interesting, it's the first time we've really seen that, is company tax matters. So there's an enormous amount of issues coming out around operating in low tax jurisdictions and the effective company tax rates. So, and we've seen that in the last 18 months, a lot of corporates being challenged by public authorities about their fair rate of tax being paid in certain jurisdictions. In terms of looking at trends, remember our focus is to large extent is trends, and as I mentioned, probably the predictive trend is definitely this focus on ESG. This would be the environmental, social and governance, and then those board priorities which came out, which I think there's some new trends that are the priorities, if you like, that are coming, which I think is worth taking cognizance of, because I'm not too sure that's always discussed in the South African boards.